Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager 3 stream. My name is Adam. I am the Community Manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, is FHM producer Jeff, who's pictured in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with the 1971-72 LA Kings. Mr. Hockey plays for us, and we won the Stanley Cup last time, right? Right?
Not quite. We had a pretty good season. That's something, right? You can see how we've done. We've made pretty steady progress from the expansion season. 51 points, 60 points in the second season, 78, then 98. We probably don't really want to talk too much about the playoffs last year. We kind of got upset in the first round. So we're gonna move past that and focus on the draft because this is a great draft.
Wait. We're skipping free agency? Did we get anyone?
No, it's 1971. There's not really anything out there for decent free agents.
All right. Did we sign anybody, though? Or no?
Not yet. I'm going to see what we get in the draft and if we've got any holes left because we're kind of filling up the roster now. It's not like we were the first couple of expansion seasons where you could always find spots for free agents, and we actually had a couple of them turn out pretty well for us. But this draft is crazy. This is one of, if not the best drafts in NHL history. We got Larry Robinson, we got Borje Salming, Rick Martin, Guy Lafleur, Marcel Dion, and it goes on and on. Anders Hedberg's down there somewhere. The only problem I'm seeing so far is our scouts are highly skeptical it's as good as it should be because they've got some guys, Dion, they're calling 2.5 stars, which is just nuts. We maybe need to add another scout or something and see what's going on there. Hedberg 2 stars. I know they're better than that, so I'm not sure why they are so down on them. But the first round is pretty fantastic. We managed to we did trade for one pick. I think that's Detroit's first rounder.
Number 1. Yes.
So the 6th overall pick.
We should, just doing a quick little. Because Jeff and I share the saves, but obviously what happens in his game is different than mine. And it looks like kind of how you would expect the first 5 picks to go for guys.
Yeah, so we were talking just before the broadcast started. If Guy Lafleur happened to drop down to about 4, we're going to take a run at him, trading up for a couple of picks. But I'm guessing from the sounds of it, that isn't happening in yours?
In this one, it went Robinson, Keough, Lafleur, Dion, and then Rick Martin went 5th.
Okay,
which still leaves like Boris Salming for us to grab.
Which would be a nice fit for us because we are getting kind of thin on defense. We fill out our forwards, and the D, which was kind of our strength the first couple of years in the league, is getting a little older and worn down. But let's see how this goes. I'll just start it up in mine, and California picking first takes Guy Lafleur. And this would have been, that's... And what happened in real life, this is one of the ones that they traded to Montreal, if I remember correctly, and that's how Montreal wound up with Lafleur. So Sam Pollock doesn't steal that deal, doesn't steal the pick from him this time, and California gets Lafleur, and who will someday maybe be a Cleveland Baron. You can look forward to that.
That's an interesting thought, isn't it?
Yeah, so we'll see what happens when they, if he's still with them, when the Barons go under in 1978, because he will be right in his prime then. That's going to be interesting. Next pick, okay, Vancouver. Please take. Before I make this pick, we've got to say that last year, which was also a fairly strong draft. The Canucks, instead of taking any of the top players, decided to go with Chuck Lefley, who had, I think, one good NHL season in real life and kind of burned out after that. So typical Canuck pick. Let's see what they do here. Larry Robinson. Okay, there we go. Finally, they did something reasonably sensible. I can live with that one. Okay, Buffalo. Do they go with actual Sabre Rick Martin? No, Rick Kehoe, Pittsburgh Penguin. For quite a few years. Pretty good goal scorer. I think he had 50 once in the late 70s or early 80s. Probably the best, or one of the best offensive Penguins before the Lemieux years. And Philly picking next. And Marcel Dion. That's the only other guy that we probably should have considered trading up for.
Well,
so
he was a king, so.
Yep. So let's see, Minnesota, I'm guessing, is going to go like yours did and go for Rick Martin. Yep, they go for Rick Martin, who probably would have been a Hall of Famer if he hadn't run into any injuries later in his career. And he also finished his
Yeah.
career with the Kings.
I think we pretty much have to take Salming here, don't we?
Well, unless you want to go for Anders Hedberg, and
We could get him with our later first round pick yet.
that's an idea. Yeah, I mean, not that we need more right wings because we've got a ton of them already because we did trade for Gordie Howe last time.
Not rated great in this, anyways. He might last for a while.
Yeah.
Too. He's
Just quickly sorting by current ability. Yeah, I mean, Salming is the best potential-wise, or second best potential-wise. Milan Novi, who's with the Czech national team for one of the best international players in the 70s, is up there, but he can't come over because he hasn't defected yet. So we're going to stay away from him, and yes, we will take Salming. So I will just jump ahead to our next pick then and see who's using pick until human. And Craig Ramsey, Vickers, Novi, Josh Guevremo, and okay, here we are at number 11. Tom Williams, younger Tom Williams, who's a King. Terry O'Reilly, who right wing, but would be nice to have. What were you going to say?
Should we consider trading down on this? Because we have, so we have a first, a second, 2/3, a fourth. No, actually, never mind. We got enough. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, this one is deep enough. Where did Hedberg get? There's Hedberg.
So who's the top guy left on yours?
Terry O'Reilly is the top guy, the only 3.5-star guy left.
Maybe we should take Terry O'Reilly, then.
There's also Pierre Plante, who's 3 stars, but only has 3-star potential. Who was a pretty good player for a few years in the mid-'70s, but kind of disappeared pretty quick. Peter Sullivan was eventually Winnipeg Jets captain. Bill Haidt, great defensive defenseman. Hedberg. But I'm leaning towards O'Reilly. I mean, round. Yeah, we can maybe hope Hedberg, because we've got, I think, 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. I think we go for O'Reilly. We're going to need to move one of our right wings over to left or center to make room for him. But I mean, he's going to be,
we could put him on left and get him working on becoming the left winger.
Yeah, possibly. Or there might be a better candidate, but I think we're going to go with him.
I like it.
Even though Tom Williams was a pretty good player for the Kings, and he's a left wing, just not quite Terry O'Reilly. And when's our next one coming up? Number 25.
Coming up
so
pretty quick.
Plante is gone, and you were right. I think no, wait, where's Hedberg?
And you know what? Maybe we should be grabbing Willie Lindstrom on this, because I think we have another pick not too far away. Or am I wrong? 39.
No, we've got 20. We've got 30. We've got 25 and 30.
Oh, right. Well, I think this might be the Willie Lindstrom pick, and we'll keep loading up on Winnipeg Jets.
Dan LeBrotten, I think he actually played for Winnipeg one year too, didn't he? Before he went to Detroit, if I'm remembering. Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not sure. Let me look it up here.
John Garrett and goal. Don't really need a goalie. We're pretty much covered with Cheevers. I'm going to gamble. I'm going to go with Hedberg here, just because Hedberg's peak we know is, well, we hope is going to be pretty high.
LeBrotten played 2 years with the Jets.
With the Jets, yeah, I thought so.
Before he went to the Red Wings.
So I mean, we're loading up. I think we maybe need to. I'll take Hedberg, and we'll see if we can make a trade with one of our right wings right after the draft, to either for a high pick next year, because I think it's a decent draft next year as well, or if we can find some other piece that fits there. But Hedberg's too good to pass up.
Willie Lindstrom appears to stay in my game at least.
Okay, let's try Hedberg first.
Yeah, for pick 30, I meant.
Lost him. There we go. And sure now, LeBrotten and William Lindstrom are both there, as is John Garrett. Defense-wise, Mike Bosniak. Defense, yeah, defense. It's not too impressive. This is probably the last decent pick that we're going to have. I guess we'll go with Lindstrom, eh?
I think he's the best pick, even though he's a right wing.
Yeah, I mean, best player available.
Yep. Although he does have some skill on the left wing.
And sure, even despite that, Daniel Bratton is still there at the number 39. So.
Oh, oops.
Might as well take him.
Yep. Now you got to be careful because you might make a mistake like I just did and accidentally had the CPU finish the draft.
Should probably add a confirmation message in there for that. Okay, number 45 pick. Yeah, we had a bunch of picks in the top 50.
Yeah, we traded up.
Kent Eric Anderson is probably the best player left, but he's a right wing, and we don't really need more of those. I think we want a little defensive depth. Just looking through the names. See, Leaf Svensson had one or two good, okay seasons in Washington. Jim Marsh, don't remember him at all. Bill Butters, cup of coffee in the WHA, if I remember right. Peter Hollander, I think one game for the Kings in 81 or so. Boy. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot left defensively. Hey, wait a second. Steve Durbano. One of the great goons of the 70s, and I think he eventually wound up in jail for drug smuggling. Do we take him, or do we go with... he's only showing 1-star potential, but I know he's got... a
little more in him.
Yeah, he's going to fight, and we're going to need fighters in the next... probably within about 3 or 4 years.
It's up to you. I'm
going to go with... I'll go with Durbano. Let's see, maybe he'll surprise us, and he's only got 1-star potential, but maybe he'll evolve into something. And last couple of ones are just throwaway picks. I think I'll grab a goalie here. I should take Jerome Mrazek, because we got Peter Mrazek, who, as far as I know, is absolutely no relation in the Detroit game. So we're playing on alternate weeks.
For now.
Yeah. We'll see if this guy develops a little better than he does. And that's the end. We're out of picks. Okay, so we got how many guys under contract? 36. Lots of room to sign people. Let's just have a look at.
Now, did we get we got Salmon. Did we get another defenseman, or should we look at free agency?
That is a good point. What have we got? Yeah, we've got. 6 more or less passable defensemen. And anybody on the farm? Nobody that's... Patterson, it's pretty thin after that. Okay. So, I think we'll go for... I think you said Mike Christie was available?
I believe he was, yes.
Yeah. We're seeing our own free agents in there, too. But, 2 stars. Nothing remarkable about him. Pretty good defensive defenseman. For, I think it was Cleveland and Colorado in the late 70s. And he eventually got traded to Vancouver, and don't think he ever played for the Canucks. It's pretty much done at that point. So let's just meet his demand. 85, it's a little high, but we'll give him an offer, see if he goes for it, and let's get all these new draft picks signed. Wow, Hedberg is asking for quite a bit off the out of the gate, 100,000 or 109,000. I'm going to take that down to 100 in the first 2 years and 110 in the final year, and see if he goes for it.
California signed Bobby Clark in free agency. That is interesting.
That's odd. I wonder if there was some strange thing where he got passed over in the draft because of the shifting draft years. So he didn't actually go into the draft. I got to check that out.
Butch Goring also signed as a free agent with Detroit.
Okay, just cleaning up these free agents that we signed, or the draft picks. LeBratton is nice and cheap. Lindstrom, what does he want? Yeah, Hedberg really wanted a ton of money. That's kind of gives me an idea that he's going to turn out to be much better than that 2 stars that he's rated as.
Let's where is he? He's gonna look and see
Don't
what
think we'll
his
sign Mrazek. Oh man, the big 3 big ones. Oops. Riley wants a 4-year deal. Remember, this is pre-entry-level contracts, so they can ask for whatever they want, and there aren't any limitations on it. I'm just going to give Solming what he wants. He's our first overall. And do we need another backup goalie on the farm? No, we got Carl and Meloche, so we don't really need those guys. One thing we've got to take into account is anybody we leave sitting here is probably going to or there's a decent chance they're going to get picked up by the WHA, which is going to be starting at the beginning of next season. So I think that's about all there is to do here. Once we've got everybody signed. And looks like everybody is signing. Christy, yep, my Christy signed with us.
all right.
Good news. Anybody left unsigned? A few more, but we'll get most of those tomorrow. Or the day after, maybe. Lindstrom, just waiting on Lebrat. Now, there we go. Did I offer DeBrano a contract? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
I'll give him one. And there, DeBrano's signed. Okay, now we got to figure out what to do with this right wing situation. I mean, we got a fantastic right. We've got, let's see, Gary Dornhofer, Anders Hedberg, Gordie Howe, Reggie Leach, Willie Lindstrom, Terry O'Reilly, and Jim Pappin. So some of those guys are going to move to the left side. But
we can move Gordie into the middle.
Yeah, Gordie can play center. He did that a little bit. Just out of curiosity, let's see what happens if I ask the assistant to set our rosters right now. And
Hoffer can also move to center or left wing by the looks of it.
Yeah, it actually tries putting Terry O'Reilly in the center. And Hedberg sitting out. Not great. So I think what we should maybe try and do is package a couple of these right wingers and see if we can get a really good defenseman for them. So I'm just going to scan through the...
Or a first-round pick for next year wouldn't be a bad either.
Yeah. Let's just I'll look through the teams and see who's needs help at right wing. Because we're really loaded there. Oh, come on. Nobody wants the right winger? Literally nobody is looking for a right wing right now. That's not good.
Interesting.
Bruins need a left wing. Stars need a left wing. What has Minnesota got anything of interest to us? No,
Vancouver needs a left wing.
Yeah, Minnesota is pretty terrible on defense. I don't think Vancouver's going to have anything that we want either, because this is just their second season. Other than Larry Robinson, who they just signed. I'm not going to try for that. What about the Bruins? We're not getting Bobby Orr, but...
What? Why not? So what right
Boston's
wing are you
pretty
thinking
thin.
about moving?
Whichever one works, really. Not seeing a lot of decent defensemen out there on the teams that are looking for wingers. Chicago. Dick Redmond seems to have turned into a pretty good defenseman. It's a little surprising. Uh, Pat Stapleton wound up going to the WHA in real life. He'd be a pretty solid defenseman for us. Or we could steal even more from the wings, but no, their defense isn't looking too hot. Yeah, they got a few 3-star guys. I'd really like to find somebody that's 3.5 stars or better defensively.
All right, I'll see if I can get Bobby Orr. Give me a second.
We could try and get, and Orr is probably going to be out of reach, but I'm wondering if we could get Brad Park out of the Rangers, who's kind of the, he would be the best defenseman in the league if Orr wasn't around. Let's see if I can put something together for him. And the Rangers say they need a left defenseman. I'm going to try giving him wingers instead. Any preferences as to which winger we should try to move?
I think Pappen or Dornhofer might be the best ones.
So we're going to have to go up a little bit, though. Pappen is 31. Dornhofer is only 2.5 stars. I'm going to try Reggie Leach. I know we just picked him up last year, but we're going to have to give serious quality to get the Rangers and to get Park out of the Rangers, and we're probably going to have to give up a decent defenseman too. Maybe Keith Magnuson. That's 3 stars, but no, they're not going to. Yeah, they're going to be tough here. And try throwing in Pappen. Wow, Leach, Magnuson, and Pappen, they still don't think they're going to go for it. We've got Gilles Meloche as our minor league goalie. I could throw that in because we're not using him. He's 3.5 star potential. And now that comes out as a well-balanced offer. So it would be Leach, Magnuson, Pappen, and Meloche for Brad Park. So, I mean,
that seems like a lot.
We're getting a superstar back, though. So, I mean, probably the second best defenseman in the league. Let me see if they will throw in a second rounder. Nope, that's not going to work. What about a 4th rounder? Nope. Any draft pick at all screws that up. I'm going to swing for the fences here. I'm going to make the offer, and we'll see. I'm not even sure they're going to take this, but and the Rangers already have 50 players, so we got to take some of their garbage back. So I'm just going to throw in there 3 or 4 worst players. I don't see anybody on a big contract. Okay, so Orr, Park, and 3 throw-ins for those 4 guys. Let's see if we get a deal. Nope, they shot us down.
Of course.
Okay, maybe we should try for a draft pick instead.
Alright, let's just see here a second.
And maybe go for Buffaloes, because I don't think they did well last year in their fairly recent expansion team.
Okay, I think... So how would you feel about Dave Burrows?
I am pretty solid guy. Who's he with right now? Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. You can get Dave Burrows and Bruce Gamble, because he's on the trade block, for Jim Pappen, Gary Donhofer, and our 2nd-round pick.
Gamble and Burrows. What I might do instead of doing that, instead of those guys, if I put Pappen and Meloche, and that way we don't have to give up the 2nd-round picks, because we're never going to wind up using Meloche. As long as Cheevers is around there. So Pappen and Meloche.
Unless we hold on to Meloche and get rid of Dryden.
That's an idea. Try that. Yeah, it's still showing up as balanced, well balanced.
Well, if we add a fourth round pick,
yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Fourth rounder.
You might have to add the fifth on top too. But what's a fourth and a fifth rounder?
Oh, I'll try a fourth and an eighth.
They'll do a seventh.
Nope, Pittsburgh says no. So you said they would do a seventh?
Well, it goes to. They will probably accept that offer.
Oh, okay. Nope, I'm not and getting yes, it.
They did accept it.
I'm going to try a sixth just to be on the safe side. Nope, they still shot me down. Pappen, Dryden. Okay,
so, I also have Dornhofer in there.
Oh, you got Dornhofer in there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take the picks out entirely and try it with Dornhofer in there and maybe a throw in from whatever Pittsburgh's worst player is.
Well, this was Pappen, Dornhoff, Dryden, a fourth and a seventh for Burrows and Gamble.
Oh, there's Dornhofer, come on. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm still going to have to add a pick to this. There we go. Yeah, they'll go for the fourth rounder, I think, on top of all that.
Well, clears us out a bit of contract, too.
Yep, nothing interesting going on development-wise. Yep, there we go. They accepted the trade. So Pappen, Dryden, and Dornhofer, and the fourth rounder next year for Bruce Gamble, Dave Burrows, which is the key guy, and somebody named Howie Colborn, who was just throw in to make up the roster spot. So that's done. Howie Colborn, whoever he is, can go down to the reserve list. And now I can start getting up there and setting up the roster for the start of the season. I think Gamble goes down to the farm and we try to play Meloche as the backup this year.
I would agree.
They're both at 2 stars. Gamble's not happy at being sent down, but Meloche will develop a little better if he's up.
Well, we protect him too in case Cheevers decides to do something crazy and retire on us.
Yeah. We've also got the 72 expansion draft coming up, Islanders and Flames next year, on top of the WHA. So we're going to lose some players regardless. That's pretty much inevitable. But let's see if we let the assistant dress line up. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm going to send Willie Lindstrom down to start the season. He's only got 1.5 stars at this point. LeBratton's only got half. He's definitely going down. Got to send down at least 2 more guys, probably defensemen. Oh, Dennis Kearns just isn't coming along. He was really good for the Canucks in the late 70s, but doesn't seem to be progressing at all with us. And I think, yeah, Mike Christie will probably have to go down. Free agent signing. That's 23, and how many defensemen we got up? We got 8 defensemen. I can send 1 more guy, I think.
Maybe Ed Van Imp?
No, I'm going to keep him up because he's got crazy shot block numbers. He's one of the best shot blockers in the league.
We're going to need to redo our captains and assistants, I think.
Yeah, good point. I mean, Terry Harper's still with us, so he can have the C for probably 1 more year. I don't think he'll be more with us longer than 1 season. 1 more, or, well, he might be around a little bit longer than that, but let's... And we traded Dornhofer, who was one of our assistants. So let's have a look at the mental ratings. Who's at the top
are we really going to play Harper that much this year?
He'll probably play a fair bit. I'm just thinking we should give Gordy the other A. Because
I agree with that.
Harper and White are both 19 on leadership and way out in front on the mental ratings. And the rest of the team, the younger guys, wow, we actually may have some issues here in a few years. We need to. Well, now Riley will probably come up. Solming will probably come up a little bit leadership-wise. So I'm just going to make Howe the other assistant. That sound good?
Yeah. I'm just not sure Harper's going to be looking at the defense. I'm not sure Harper will be playing that much. At 2 stars.
We could trade, I guess, the assistant jobs. Make him the alternate captain and White the captain. I think I'll do that. I'll make him assistant 1 and make Bill White the captain. And just seeing what the AI, wow, that's, for some reason it wants to keep playing Larry Lund. Oh no, I guess we traded away most of that surplus we had at right wing, so that sort of makes sense for now. And one rule change, I should point out that the number of dressed players has gone up by 1 this year, so we only had 1 second line forward, or 1 fourth line forward in the lineup previously. Now we've got room for 2 of them.
Yeah, excellent.
So I don't think there's anything else we urgently need to do. We should probably take a look at renewing some contracts because WHA is coming and they're going to steal these guys. If we don't sign them, first and foremost, Jerry Cheevers has to get a new deal. And he wants to sign for 5 years, so that's good news there. He's 30 right now, and that'll pretty much take him. No, he'll still be pretty decent in the middle of the 70s. He was good until the late 70s. Lagos 1234 asking, yep, is that Terry O'Reilly? Yeah, we'll keep him away from the fans. As long as the fans don't start anything first. That wasn't really his fault, technically. If you can't beat a guy with his shoe. And now, Gordie Howe needs a contract renewal. He only wants a 1-year deal, so I think Gordie's thinking about retiring.
Let's offer him multiple years.
That actually, that is a good point, because if he does have an active contract, when it comes to the time to make the retirement decision, he is less likely to retire. So I'm going to give him the money he wanted, but 2 years instead of 1, and he's okay with that.
3 years.
Yeah, we won't push our luck, but we'll keep him out of the WHA for 1 year at least.
Well, it says he would accept a 3-year.
Too late. I submitted it already. Gilles Marat, probably give him something.
You can submit a better one, can't you?
I can't remember if if you remove the offer now, that may make him upset. I don't want to take a chance on doing that.
All right, let's still offer him again.
Yeah. Cheevers signed and Gordie signed that 2-year deal, and Gilles Marat signed. Good. How are we doing money-wise?
You see, Lake Coast 1234 in the chat says, him beating a fan with his own shoes, one of the greatest moments in sports.
That it is. Ernie Hick, who is kind of a free agent, surprised it's developed nicely for us. His contract's up. Now he wants to get paid. He wants $130,000 for 4 years, but we'll give it to him. We're actually going to be a pretty decent team by about 73 or 74, like borderline cup contender, I think. This is coming together really nicely.
Well, we had to go and get Gordie Howe.
If he's still with us at that point.
Well, he's getting us there anyways.
Okay, and I will take another look at the contracts in the middle of the year, but for now I think I'm just going to run this up to the start of the preseason. Should get a camp development report in here at some point. Yeah, development report in the off-season. Gordie's the only guy that went downhill a little bit.
What do you go down on?
What did he drop in? Face-offs, which isn't good if we want to play him at center, and stamina went down by 1 too.
Gordie Howe would not go down on strength there for face-offs. He would just beat the guy up, let's be honest.
Okay, the training camp report. Here we go on for development. He went down 1 in shooting accuracy, 2. Magnuson declined. Oh, that's not good. He's only 24. Britt Selby heading downhill, but the rest of it is all good news. I saw somebody with a... Okay, yeah. J. Bob Kelly. Battleship Kelly gets +2 in there. LeBrotten developing nicely. Steve Durbano, really good year. The only problem is I'm not seeing a lot of our better young guys coming along. Okay, let's see where that leaves the roster for star changes. Rose Magnuson. Reggie Leach gets up to 3 stars. I think he was 2.5 before. Could be wrong.
I'm not sure. Went too far.
And, we got to call up, I think, Ted McAneely from the reserve list, who's surprisingly enough gotten up to 2.5 stars. Everybody else is right around 2. Patterson got up to 2 stars. Yeah, we got a little bit of defensive depth now, and Gamble hates... Oh, somebody else was unhappy at being down. Oh, Colborne, the guy we traded for. No big deal.
That's too bad.
Oh, did Durbano get an extra half star? Yes, he did. Maybe he'll develop. And yeah, I think I'll see how the AI wants to do the lines. Actually, it's going to leave Howe at right wing on the first line, so I think I'm going to stay with that. And then the second line, we got the 2 Europeans, Hedberg and Katola, and Dan Maloney, a tough guy with them. And pretty solid third line, Bob Barry, Derek Sanderson, and Reggie Leach, and Terry O'Reilly's going to get some fourth line time to develop. Burrows and White as first pair defenseman, Magnuson Harper, and Salming, who's just learning, with Gilles Marat, veteran, on the final pair. This is looking like a real good team for this year. I'm almost tempted to slow the game down. We were talking about how we've been sort of rushing through this simming a lot to get to the competitive years, but I think I'm going to move this year ahead fairly quickly again, like we've done the previous seasons up until now, and then starting next season we'll slow it down a bit because we're going to be getting into the WHA years, and the NHL will be expanded again after that point. So we're going to start to get into the interesting decisions where we're going to have to worry about losing guys and getting guys signed, and it'll be a little more challenging at that point, and we'll also be a little bit better. So let's get... I'm just going to run this through the exhibition season quickly. Let's hope we don't get any injuries. I forgot California actually got Gilbert Perreault in the previous draft, so they got Perreault and Lafleur as their first line.
That's a pretty solid first line.
Okay, season preview. Oh, and they actually somehow managed to sign Bob Clark. I'm not sure how they did that, but so they've got... California is going to be a pretty good team, or eventually. Jerry Cheevers isn't mentioned as one of the top goalies in the league. That's a little worrying. Esposito, Dryden, and Perrant, which... okay, it's not that bad. And Boston apparently is a team to beat this year. Just want to take a quick look at that California roster to see what they got going on there. Rogie Vachon in goal. Barry Long has developed into a 4.5-star defenseman somehow. That's done well. Gilles Lapointe. Wow, this is a really good... Well, okay, not a lot of depth, but they've got a great first line, California. But let's see what we're looking like right now. Do we have any injuries? Oh, great. Salming Day to day with migraines. Other than that, we're okay. So he's going to miss the home opener. I'll put Van Imp back into the lineup for that. And the opener against California. And we wound up losing 4-3. So hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. And Guy Lafleur gets two goals in his first NHL game.
Not bad.
And just waiting for Salming to get back. And as soon as I can set up the lineup with him in it. I got the Canucks next. And we lose 5-2 to Vancouver. That's not coming along too good.
Lactose1234 in the chat says, what year do I want to load if I want there to be actual draft picks? I have a soft spot for the 1967 season as I own Stratomatic hockey when I was a kid, and I played that over and over. But I don't think there is an actual draft for a few years after that.
You mean the years of the NHL actually used the entry draft? That's from about 61 on. So you can do 67 and that'll be okay. It wasn't exactly as we knew it, as we know the entry draft now. A lot of the players weren't eligible for it. But I mean, the first real modern-looking draft is probably 69 or 70, I think. And we lose Ernie Hick to injuries. That's just a hyperextended ankle. We got all these little ones. Okay, Salming and Hicks still injured. Come on, guys. Try Britt Selby in for one game. He hasn't played for us much in the last couple of years. But 0-2 to start the season. This isn't promising. No, we tied Pittsburgh at least, and Britt Selby, who I just threw in the game, actually scored a goal.
Of course he did.
Probably his first one in about a year and a half. Okay, Salming is almost ready to come back. And one more game to sim against the Flyers. And finally we win our first game of the season, 3-1 over Philadelphia.
All right.
Salming still not ready though. Come on, guys. Starting to wonder about our training staff here, and we lose 5-1 to Chicago. Ouch. 1-3-1 is not how I wanted to start this year. And now Don Maloney gets injured. 3 left wings all out at the same time.
Oh. Well, in my save, we just lost Keith Magnuson for 11 months.
Okay,
for
Hicken.
Severe eye trauma.
Ouch.
So that's a rough one.
Okay, at least Ernie Hick can play, but now Barry and Maloney are out. Salming, fortunately, is back in, so he can finally make his Kings debut. Yeah, we're really starting to have to patch together the lines here. Wow. Hedberg...
we're kind of missing those right wings we traded away now.
Yeah. But we do beat Pittsburgh 3-1. So that's a slightly better sign. I should take a look at these just day to day. Oh, Bob Berry is out for 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm going to put him on the injured list. Call somebody up. Maloney is just day to day. Actually, I don't need to call anybody up. I can... And first shutout of the season for us, 3-0 over the Flyers. I'm assuming, yep, Cheevers was in goal. And just waiting for Maloney to get back now. Okay, we're on a roll now. Beat Montreal 4-3. By the way, Terry Harper, who you wanted to sit out, has 3 goals already this season.
Whatever.
Oh, and a fairly big deal. Vancouver trades Dallas Smith and Brian Campbell, who they got from us in the expansion draft, I think, to Montreal for Jacques Lemaire. So Canucks starting to do some things right, creepily enough. Can't last, I'm sure.
Must not be running right then.
Yeah, something will go wrong. And another big one for us, 7-2 over Minnesota. And wow, Britt Selby, who was pretty much, I was more or less ready to cut him from the team completely. Just released him, had 4 assists.
Nice.
So he's got 5 points in 7 games in the time he's been put back in to cover for the injured guys. Maloney is still day-to-day. Come on. Ready for full contact. Should almost be ready to go in, I believe. Nope, not yet. Got the Sabres, and it's another 6-2 win for us. So now we're on a roll. Wait, Barry is back skating already? Oh, that's funny. Barry actually looks almost closer to coming back than Maloney was, and he was supposed to be out longer than Maloney was.
Well, take what you can get, right?
Yep. And no, there goes the win streak. Chicago beat us 4-3.
Unsurprising.
Development report. Oh, no decline for Gordie Howe this time. That's good news. Nobody really important declining. Durbano considering continuing to post big improvement numbers. So, yeah, I think another year or two we may have Durbano, Terry O'Reilly, and Battleship Kelly all in the lineup. So I think we're covered toughness-wise. There we go. Maloney is finally ready to come back, or at least play. I'm going to sit Bordelot out and put him back in, even though he's at a slightly higher risk of injury the way he is there. Yeah, it looks all right. And I'm going to run this through to the end of the month. Maybe get an announcement somewhere in there that Bob Berry's ready to come back. Yeah, there we go. Healthy player on injured list. Berry can come up. Gilles Marat seems to be declining pretty rapidly. I'm going to take him out of the lineup. And even though McAnally's got the extra star, I don't want to sit Bill White, so he's going to stay in. Selby has cooled off considerably after that 4-assist game. And whoa, what happened there? We're somehow 7-10-1 now. The wheels kind of fell off. Okay, I'm going to juggle this lineup a little bit, but what the heck is going on here? Yeah, 7 losses in 8 games. Wow, and a bunch of that was a homestand too. 4-3. So yeah, we got the Rangers and the Leafs both beat us 7-4 in back-to-back games. The Leafs beat us 6-3. What is it with the Leafs in these games we're playing? Doesn't matter which team we play as, we get destroyed by Toronto all the time.
Well, now they're mad that we took looming, so.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to get this. Whoops. What's wrong with my lineup? Oh. And check my goalie starts and get Cheevers in there a little bit more often.
So just let Cheevers run with it. See what happens.
Yeah, we're kind of struggling this season. I'm not really sure why. We're okay, 10, 12, and 1 at the end of November. The development report, Howe loses another point. Durbano continuing to improve. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Actually, accidentally hit Sim until next year, and it took us about a week ahead.
Guido Creative in the chat says, if it helps, I destroyed the Leafs in my game.
I'm glad to know somebody's beating them.
Yes.
The only good thing is the division is so weak. We're still in third place despite being below 500, but we really need to pick it up. Season, let's have a look at the stats. We are, what, about 25, 28 games in. Okay, Guicheron's having a great year. Gordie Howe putting up a point a game, still solid. Catola's okay. Hicks okay. Sanderson. Boris Salming having a great rookie year. Barry, when he was injured, fine. Burrows turned out to be a good pickup. Headed for 40 points. Harper playing well. Leach, not so great. Bordelow's done okay. Oh, Hedberg's not too impressive. O'Reilly. Oh, I mean, we're scoring reasonably well. What do the game ratings look like if I sort by those? Burrows, Catola, Salming, who's at the bottom end? You know, O'Reilly, the young guys, Selby and Lund. Oh, Harper isn't doing much game ratings-wise. Neither is White. Neither is Leach. Yeah, it looks like we got some defensive issues. And goalie stats. Why are we playing Meloche so much? Cheevers must be getting 15 decisions. Yeah, Meloche seems to be getting an awful lot of games for some reason. I gotta take a look at that. Start frequency and bump up start the best goalie to had a 3, or I added a 2, then I added a 3. So we're almost coming up in the hour here. I'm just going to try to run this through till the new year, and if we don't get above 500, and you can see we already are 16, 17. Okay, now we're on a roll. And slipping backwards again. So, well, at least January 1st, we're 17, 16, and 3.
Oh, that's better.
Development. Oh, Kearns is finally developing. That's good news. But Gordie Howe is now injured. Oh boy. Torn bicep, 2 or 3 months out.
Ooh.
So he's going on the injury list. Should we call anybody up or just go with what we've got available now? I don't see anybody that's at 2 stars on the forwards. Yeah, let's see how the AI wants to do this. Oh, JP Bordelot got up to 2.5 stars, so he's actually probably pushing O'Reilly down a little bit. O'Reilly having kind of a rough rookie year, 4 points in 36 games. Leach is a little more productive this season, at least, but still coming along a little slower than we'd like. Well, this should be Leach's big chance now. He should... Oh, Hedberg winds up in the front. Oh, no, Leach only goes... AI only wants to put Leach on the third line. Oh, that's a fairly tough third line. Sanderson, Maloney, and Leach. And Give this a week and see how it does if it keeps us above 500.
Our time's just about to an end here.
Yep. Well, we got a board conference update, so that's good news. Yeah, the owner is still fairly happy with us. We're 19, 16, and 3. And still third place in the West, and tied for 6th overall, so we actually could be a lot worse than this.
Yeah.
Gonna get one more week out of this. Okay, 20 we'll call. We're about halfway through the season there. So I think we can start wrapping this up. We'll just take a quick look around the league. And you can see, yeah, there's our points at the halfway mark. Sharon's still leading, almost on track for 90 points. Yeah, Dave Burrows has been a great pickup. He didn't score this much in real life, but he's done pretty well for us.
Fits our system.
Yeah, Hedberg not really doing much in his rookie year, although we brought him over, I think, about 3 or 4 years, or no, at least 2 or 3 years before he came over to North America in real life. Cheever's kind of an off year for him. Meloche has been, that's where a lot of our losses are coming. Meloche is only 8 and 10 in goal. Cheevers is 13 and 7.
All right.
And quick look at the league leaders as we sign out. Rangers and Leafs tied for first place overall, and the Canucks, surprisingly enough, are not in last in the East. 5th place. And the Red Wings, after we stole Gordie Howe from them, and they've fallen apart now. So I hope you're happy.
Well, it was going to happen.
And yeah, there we go. Bob Clark of the Seals leading the league in scoring, and Guy Lapointe, wow, surprisingly enough for a defenseman, second. So the scoring leaders are starting to get a little bit unusual. Okay, if you want to go ahead and take us out here.
Sure. Thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. If you missed our live stream, then you're probably watching this on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments, where all of our Twitch streams are archived. You can go back and see everything we've done in this series and in our current Detroit Red Wings series as well. If you want to talk to us more about Franchise Hockey Manager, you can reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. Our Twitter is @FranchiseHockey, or you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on that community button, which will take you to our official forums, and you can discuss Franchise Hockey Manager 3, MLB Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, or anything else that you desire. Jeff, did I miss anything?
No, I think we covered everything pretty much there. Got the next game of the finals on tomorrow night. It's funny, last week we were, it was looking like the NHL final would be a blowout and the NBA final might be interesting. Now we got a tied NHL final and effectively a best of 3 yet, and the NBA final isn't even worth watching at this point. So funny how quickly it turns around in a week. So I think we'll call it a week for there, and we'll see everybody back next week with the Wings game. So thank you for coming out, and we will see you in a week.